Alright, thanks for tuning into Leading Forecast this Sunday afternoon, and we are talking about Tropical Storm Debby, or what is Tropical Storm Debby right now. Let's go on over. This is the current position of the storm. Is again the orange dot down here. It's sitting not too far south of Panama City and the Destin, Florida area. As of right now, in fact, the center of location is 28.3 north, 85.9 west, with sustained winds, max sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. Movement is northeast at 5 miles per hour, and you can see this is kind of the cone here of where it could hit right now, sitting right around the Corpus Christi, all the way up to almost pretty much the Destin, Florida area, with the main area of the cone from Destin on over to the Morgan City area. In fact, there are tropical storm warnings now in effect. I'm going to pull up a notepad here so I can read these off to you. Let's see. Tropical storm warning in effect for the coast of Louisiana from the mouth of the Pearl River westward to Morgan City, not including the city of New Orleans or Lake Pontchartrain. That says not including the city of New Orleans or Lake Pontchartrain, and the Mississippi River or Mississippi-Alabama border eastward to the Swanee River, Florida. A tropical storm watch is in effect south of the Swanee River to Enclote Key, Florida, I believe is what that is. And so and you can see those are the warnings are in blue there. Down in this area, and then the watches are in that yellow tan area there. So Tampa almost included in this watch, but I don't think we're going to see it go that far east. It's not out of the question it's going to totally go north or northeast, but I don't think Tampa will see landfall out of this storm. And there is your storm there, and you can see starting to get that classic comma shape to it. Our center of circulation is right in this area here. And going on over to the water vapor, we were talking about last night, if you got the watch, we were worried about this dry air working in. And it seems like it's not. It's actually being pushed, at least when it's working in here, this is actually pushing it back out to the west. And so as of right now, we're not real worried about that dry air working in. This may not hinder this hurricane or this tropical storm too much. It may actually stay west and north of it. Let's go on over. We'll take a look at some forecast models here. This is the NAM model, at least as far as it goes out, and this thing still has it meandering out in the ocean here 84 hours out as we get into Wednesday, almost Thursday time period. You're still sitting a center of circulation there. I don't think the NAM has a good hold on this. We're going to see landfall before then pretty much. This is as we get into Monday. This is the GFS, and the GFS is really sticking to its guns. It is said this solution for multiple model runs, or pretty close to this solution. This has making landfall down into Florida here as we get into Monday afternoon as a tropical storm, bringing a lot of rain up towards Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and really across the peninsula even. This is the Euro model, and this brings it over towards Morgan City as a strong tropical storm, maybe even a weak hurricane. A lot of precip being spread into southern Mississippi, Alabama, and all the way through Florida again. This is the Euro model. This is by 18Z, or early afternoon on Wednesday. As we get into, this is the GFDL model. This brings it in. This is very close to the GFS resolution. This brings it in as a very strong tropical storm, maybe even a Category 1 hurricane. I'm making landfall here into the central parts of Florida. And then you can see back here, these are the winds. And flirting with probably 74 mile per hour winds as this starts to make landfall here. So a Category 1 hurricane definitely not out of the question. The UK Met model, this brings it in. This is a little bit in more of agreements with the European model, and this actually brings it out and brings it in kind of through this area and brings it in as a tropical storm. And that's as we get into late Wednesday into Thursday. The CMC model here, this brings it in. This was bringing it out this way, but now it's actually brought it into the Panama City area as a tropical storm as we get into tomorrow afternoon. and a lot of rain over towards Tallahassee, Jacksonville, even up into southern Georgia, getting some very heavy rain out of the storm. And then, of course, we've gone over to the JMA model. And this is bringing it into South Texas. I think this model is probably out of itself. I don't think that's going to happen. The WRF model, we can't really see it real well. But we will zoom in on it here. The WRF model, your low is actually sitting there, and that brings it into the Pensacola area as we get into a little later on this week. In fact, let's zoom out and see what day that was. This is as we get into Tuesday, almost Wednesday. It brings that into the Pensacola area. And then the RPM model brings it in agreements with the GFS, where it brings it more up into the Central Florida area. And so we'll just have to wait and see. Here's the model spread as of right now. And honestly, a lot of these models are starting to bring it out east, and which is a very, very interesting situation. And some of the models, though, are still taking it west. But, you know, with our current track of taking it kind of northwest, there's still a chance that it could go that way. Taking a look, this is the model guidance as far as strength, and we do have this one's a Category 1 hurricane. This one's a Category 2, Category 1, and then the rest of them there in the greens are tropical storms. So, you know, we have a good guidance. This will probably be a strong tropical storm, but a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane is definitely not out of the possibility here. Taking a look, I wanted to take a look at the 500 millibar area, because the two things we were watching, like I said last night, is this high sitting here, and then this trough that is digging down into this area. So those are the big two things. And the high, the ridge coming down, is what will guide this storm. Well, the other thing we're looking at, you know, I was thinking the trough, I don't think the trough will pick this up, but as I'm starting to look, the trough almost extends down all the way into here now. Because you can see those winds where they're kind of dipping this way. The winds are kind of coming down like this. Because this wind bar is going this way, this one's going this way, while these are going directly south. So that trough is actually somewhere down in here, it looks like, at least the very edge of it. So there is a chance this may actually get picked up. It may even be down, yeah, in that area. This could get picked up by this trough and possibly take it this way. So we'll just have to wait and see. You know, there's still a lot of different scenarios that are going to play out with this, where this high ridge ends up building, all kinds of different things. But I think it's still very likely that this eye ends up impacting somewhere between Pensacola, you know, Tallahassee, eastward. You know, it's hard to say. So, anyways, that's all I have for now. Just keep in touch with the weather this weekend and early this week if you live along the Gulf Coast, and we'll see where exactly Debby goes. So, anyways, that's all I have for now. Enjoy your Sunday.